Our next guest grew up in the town right next to South Bend, Mishawaka, Indiana, where she became one of the top high school cross-country runners in the country. Anna Rohrer won numerous state and national titles during her days at Mishawaka High School and was named the Gatorade National Cross-Country Runner of the Year her senior year. Anna turned in an outstanding freshman season for the Irish, finishing 6th in the NCAA Cross Country Championships and 2nd in the ACC Cross Country Championships to Notre Dame's NCAA 10,000-meter champion, Molly Seidel. The first-time runners from the same school had finished 1-2 in the event since 2005. We are pleased Anna has run over to the FIM studios in the Joyce Center to appear on today's Jack Swarbrick Show.
Anna, thanks so much for being with us. Before we launch into the questioning, congratulations on that last segment. You and James knocked it out of the park.
Thank you. I was leaning mainly on James for that one.
He did a great job. Although I got to tell you, last year when Joe Schmidt was the co-host following a hockey segment, we got Joe in the goal in hockey to get some, see how he did as a goalie. I think following the segment with Kayla, we need to get you and James in goal. So I'm going to work on that, okay?
How about we take a few PKs on her instead? So we can get it past her.
Either way, but I think we got to get you in the goal too. Fire away.
So Anna, I was just wondering, what was it like to compete in the NCAA championship as a freshman? Clearly we know how hard you worked to get there. I'm not sure if you knew, but Anna and I actually did a week study abroad together this past summer in Ireland, and she was, I think, the only one on our trip who in the morning was asking to go running around whatever area we were in or whatever town through Ireland at 6 a.m. She was like, okay, what time are we getting on the bus? Okay, I'll be up and running if anyone wants to go. No one else wanted to go.
You weren't with her?
No. So clearly she puts in a ton of hard work, but what was it like as a freshman to be competing in the championship?
It was definitely really, really fun to be there. Less pressure than I was used to in high school, because coming from high school, a lot of people expected me to take the lead and win races all the time. And so it was really nice to have a big pack of girls to run with, especially teammates. And I just kind of went in there with not trying to make big expectations for myself. I really wanted to finish top 10, but I was more just going into it with, I'm going to see what I can do and hope to keep improving from where I was at the beginning of the season. So it was definitely a good learning experience, and I'm excited to go back this year knowing what to expect.
Well, you definitely set the bar high.
Oh, yeah. Every day in practice and in those big meets, you were running with somebody who had a pretty good year. A friend of this show was on a couple of times, Molly Seidel. What did you take away from a year spent with someone who enjoyed the success she did last year?
It was definitely a big year for both of us in different aspects. I've never had really close female teammates to train with, and so that was one of the best things for me coming to school here, was to have so many people to run with, and especially having Molly right there next to me or in front of me, and just seeing what she accomplished this year and how she did it. I think sets me up to be able to do the same in the future. And I've really learned a lot from her, and hopefully she'll be back for track season to pull me along again. We can work together.
Running alongside some of your teammates, do you feel like you guys push each other? Do they keep you going during meets?
Oh, absolutely. It seems like a lot of other sports like softball or soccer or football are a lot more team-oriented. But cross country and track really are team sports as well, because having a teammate alongside of you really does push you, and it keeps you motivated and reminding yourself that you're not running just to run your best time. You're running for your team, for your university, for even the country sometimes.
I heard there's a huge mental aspect to running as well. Can you touch on that? Do you guys put any practice into that, or?
I would say we don't directly practice that, but a lot of the times in workouts, it's more mentally taxing than it is physically. Just sometimes just reading what we're gonna have to do for our workout, it's like, wow, I don't necessarily always want to do it, but that's part of the reason we're so good, is that we've done things that challenge us, not just physically but mentally as well. And I think that's what really pushes you through the later parts of a race. When things hurt and your body tells you to stop, it's when your mind kicks in and you have to tell yourself to keep going.
Well, Rachel gave us some insights into your dedication and training regime with the 6 a.m. Ireland runs, which I admired her for candidly admitting she didn't join you on. Hope Coach doesn't hear that.
Yeah, they've cut that.
But what's a typical week for you like in terms of mileage?
At this point in the season, I'm running around 60 miles, which is a bit higher than I was in high school, but still not at the peak of my mileage. And I add in some cross training. Like today I didn't run at all, but I swam for an hour and a half. So just different things to make sure I'm staying healthy, but also keeping my fitness level high.
Man, I'm getting exhausted just conducting the interview.
I'm a little embarrassed. I'm probably not that fit.
You going to do 60 this week?
I am. I'll beat you. I'll do 70.
Okay. Morning practice tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you there.
How is it different? So, two-part question. Do you have a preference between cross country and distance racing on a track? And how's the preparation for the track season and the cross country season different?
I can't say I have a preference for one or the other because they are pretty different. I like that in track you can run different races, and like sometimes I get put in a short race, like the mile's the short race for me. But it's fun to like be able to switch gears and do something different, and it seems more competitive than cross country. But cross country is definitely nice because there's scenery and you're not just running 25 laps around a track. But training-wise, I would say we lift heavier weights for track season and we work on some more speed work. But it's still the same general base training, higher mileage, and working on doing workouts to stimulate longer races still.
Now, what's the process like for developing that plan? I know Coach Sparks works closely with you on all of that, but what input do the girls have? How's the weekly plan developed?
Well, he sends us out a workout plan every Monday for the week, and it's usually based on how he knows we feel, and we keep our own training logs, so we'll update him on how we're doing, and if we're going into a workout just exhausted, maybe we didn't sleep, had an exam that morning, or we're sick or something, the team's been very good about communicating that, and I think that's going to be a key to staying healthy this season is the relationship that we all have with our coach and with each other, just making sure we're keeping each other accountable, not for the things we don't do, but for usually we end up doing too much. And I think Coach Sparks works with us on keeping that balance, and it's a really good thing to have for a coach.
So if you are sick one day, you can just come in a different day and make up those miles, or how's that?
Not really.
Okay.
It's yeah, because things are very based on like we do hard workouts Tuesday, Friday, and then like on Sunday usually. And so if you miss one day, you can't really do it the next day because then you'll have like back to back.
Yeah.
But it's also so much of running is recovering. Like we have really hard days, but then you have to take your easy days really easy or else you're going to get hurt. So it's all about communication with the coach, and if you're going to go into a workout and just bomb it, then there's not much of a point in doing it that day.
I remember fondly my visit with you and your family when you were in the process of trying to decide where to go, and with your academic record and your athletic record, you could go anywhere in the country, and everybody with the program wanted you to come there. At the end of the day, why Notre Dame?
I've been asked that question a lot of times, and there are a couple of reasons. The one I always tell people first is that it was not because it was close to home. Nothing against my family. I love my family, and it has turned out really well being close, being able to see them. But it was really because I love the spiritual aspect of the campus, because I really didn't find that anywhere else I looked. And the coach and the team atmosphere was just, you couldn't compare it to some of the others. And I really felt like I fit in here, and the academics are hard to beat. And I just knew this was the place God wanted me to be, and it's really proven that. And it is nice to be close to home too. It definitely has its perks. Yeah.
Carbo loading. What's your major? What are you pursuing?
I'm majoring in neuroscience right now in the College of Arts and Letters instead of science, because I plan to do grad school for nutrition or physical therapy after this.
That's a newer major, right?
It's
a crossover with science and psychology.
Yes. And I'm finally getting to choose some of the classes I want to take now, and not just the prerequisites, and I'm definitely enjoying that this semester.
Our first significant home meet in cross country is this weekend. Will you be running? I know that sometimes you don't always run in the meets because you're looking ahead to the next one. Will you be running, and what do you expect from the team in this in the upcoming weekend?
I personally will not be running this weekend. It's a little bit of a lower caliber meet compared to some that we'll be racing later. So I'm just saving up for that to make sure I'm healthy for the part of the season that's most important. But our girls are all coming back very strong. We had some girls who were injured over the summer, which is probably a good thing in retrospect, because that means at the end of the season, when it counts, we'll all be ready to go. But we had a smaller dual meet 2 weeks ago and swept the podium. So I think we definitely can run as a pack and win this meet on Friday.
Well, that's great. Good luck on this season. We're going to be watching you carefully, and I know it's going to be a great and successful season for you. James, Rachel, and I are going to adopt your program, but we're going to divide it up among the three of us. I'll take 2 miles.
Divide and conquer.
They'll get the rest of it. Thanks so much for being with us. Thanks to all our guests today for a great show. We look forward to seeing you next week, and go Irish.
Go Irish.